Our Igniting Souls Fellowship this month. I'm so excited to be here because every single month we get to come and get class act information that helps us with our businesses, and this month is no exception. We're going to be speaking about teams this month, about 3 steps to building your business team of superstars. And how many here have a business and you're a solopreneur or an entrepreneur? Okay, almost everybody here. Out there online, welcome as well, and you can type that in if you're an entrepreneur and you're by yourself. I got to tell you a little bit about my involvement with Igniting Souls. It's been a few years now. I came in and I met Kary and David, who many of you know, and they were fantastic. They were spectacular. As I started going through the programs and I started learning more and growing personally and through my own business, I got to watch them do the same. And it was this slow, gradual thing that taught me how to be able to do that as well, which they're going to speak about today. But it was so neat to see how you start out with a couple people that have this great idea, and it builds. And when you have a great idea, you can't do it alone. You can't get it out to the world if you're all by yourself, right? How many people have seen, Microsoft with one person? It just doesn't happen. If you have a great idea, you have to get it out there. So I, without further ado, want to welcome up our Chief Igniter, who's going to teach us how to build a stellar superstar team, Kary Oberbrunner.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, great to be here with you today. And if you're here in the room, we have a special gift for you. So I'm going to actually ask Joel, I'm going to ask you to give brand new first-time guests a free copy of Day Job to Dream Job. So this is a book that will definitely help them as they kind of go pro with their passion. So anybody first-time guests, raise your hand. Joel will hook you up. We just want to welcome you. Thank you. I see we have a bunch of new people, so welcome. Awesome. Well, we are talking about a topic that is so dear to my heart. And I'll tell you why it's dear to my heart. I wrote my opus, and if you're like, what is he talking about, his opus? Just hang with us. You'll learn some new words today. Okay, they're not cuss words. Okay, but opus is the Latin word for masterpiece. And I wrote my opus probably in about 2008, 10 years ago. And that opus came true. Joel, you probably saw one of my early versions of my opus. But it came true, and I haven't touched the thing in about 10 years. And I just got done revising my opus, and I'm going to kind of share that with the tribe here in the next month or two. The reason why I'm so excited about it, what changed is my focus on building a team. Did you catch that? 10 years ago, it's about me, it's about my message, it's about, Kary. And what you begin to realize is if you're going to make it in business, it's not about you. True? It's not about you. In the beginning, I thought, it's about my books. It's about my talks. What I realized a long time ago is nobody cares about me. All right? And I can say that. I'm not trying to be like false humble or something. I'm just saying, guys, like your clients care about themselves. Is this true? They care about their pain, their story, their problem. And the sooner you, as a service provider or a product provider or a speaker, coach, or author, the sooner you realize that, the sooner you're going to have success. And as a result, my focus over the next decade is going to be building a global team that is even bigger. And we know, last year, I handed my CPA 28 1099s. Did you catch that? Did you hear that? Yeah, the fee was a little high, but it's no longer David and I. It's no longer David, stay-at-home dad, Kary, former pastor, and we're just making this happen. But here's the truth I want you to believe. You are not too small today to start your team. Let me say that again. You are not too small today to start your team. If you think you're too small, you are going to be projecting that to your clients. Now listen, I'm going to give you a little trick. You guys ready for some tricks too? This is all free. We didn't even go to the first slide yet, okay? And by the way, if you're watching live, thank you very much. If you're in the room, thank you very much. our goal is to reach 1 million souls by 2020, to ignite 1 million souls by 2020. So I'm going to ask you to do me a favor, okay? And there's a gift tied to it, okay? I'm going to bribe you. I can bribe you. Can't I bribe you? I'm going to ask you guys to share this. So if you're in the room, if you can share that as well. If you're online, if you can share this, we're going to give you guys gold today, okay? There's no charge for admission here. If you love what I share at the very end, fine, we can talk about next steps, but this is not high pressure anything, okay? So you're going to get gold today. I'm going to ask you to share it. Erica, when people share it, can they put share, and then we'll send them a link with the free gift, okay? And you'll like that gift, trust me. Almost 10,000 people have liked that gift this week. I'll tell you about it, okay? Here's the point. If you need to set up a dummy email that is support@jeffelder.com, support@reneevidor.com, make your imaginary friend your team. All right? Now, I'm just going to be real with you guys, okay? Can I be real with you? When you get into negotiations over your fee, it's awesome to have a support at email. Because now they can be like, what the heck? Rick Copeland's fee is how much? And you can say, why, yes, sir. You know, Mr. Copeland's fee is that much. And who's that? It's Rick. And he's managing that other email. Do you see what I'm saying? I could say a name and you would all know who it is. And this is one of their strategies they did in the beginning. They did not want to get into negotiations over their speaking fee. And so what they did is they created a support at email. And it wasn't deceitful, it wasn't lying, but they simply had that email person negotiate their fees. And if the people weren't happy, that's fine. You see how that's a little trick? So who's the first member on your team? You are, okay? You better like yourself. You better pay yourself in Starbucks at times and reward yourself, okay? All right. So far have you walked away with a practical tip in the first 60 seconds? Everybody. So you should all have a support at email, and that is you negotiating your fees for the rate that you're worth. Okay, true? All right, let's go into some other ones. Today you're going to discover why most teams struggle growing influence, impact, and income. Most teams struggle with this. We're going to talk about that. Number 2, you're going to discover how to keep your team engaged, excited, and in their strength zone. I'm going to give you guys some of our inside stuff today because you've made the trip from Dayton. You made it from Kentucky. A lot of people online. Where are people from? Can they type in where they're from? I'd love to hear where they're from. And go ahead, if you're watching online, go ahead and do that as well. Then this is all brand new. I'm going to give you a 3-step process for building your own team of business superstars. Would that be helpful?
Yes.
If at the end you know this, would that be helpful for you? Would that move the needle in some area of your life or business? Yes? Awesome. So we do have a free gift for all those who shared, and it's all honor system. So if you shared, we're going to give you this gift. No joke. How many of you have seen our Facebook ads this week? Has anybody seen our Facebook ads this week? If you haven't, we are not doing our job, okay? Facebook tells us that we've reached over 800,000 people this week with our Facebook ads. David and I could have bought several vehicles with our ad spend, okay? Now listen, 10,000 people have accepted our challenge. You guys are going to see a big launch happen in the next week. Anyway, we're doing that later today at 1 o'clock. When I woke up today, my wife's like, you did a fellowship and a webinar on the same day? What are you thinking? And I'm like, hey, it's just the way the calendar fell, right? So at 1 p.m. today, I'm going to be teaching people literally how to take a book and build a 6-figure business around it. And how many people have seen haters on our ads this week? Anybody? Oh, I have. I've been called every name in the book. What's cool, though, is I didn't always engage. And what happened is the people who joined the group, who saw the value that we've been giving, rushed to our defense and shut those people up, which is awesome. It's very cool, right? But here's a side point I just want you to think about. I just want you to think about that. Are you ready to 10x your taxes and your haters? No one's probably ever told you that, right? Everyone talks about 10xing your income. I just want to ask you a question. About 60 days ago, I had a gut check, and I said, am I okay with me 10xing my taxes and 10xing my haters. And I spent about an afternoon journaling on that topic. And you know what I said? What do you think I said when I emerged? I said, bring it. I don't know if I said bring it, but I probably could have said bring it. But I said, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready. Because listen, don't try to 10x your influence. Don't try to 10x your impact and your income if you're not also going to be okay with 10xing your taxes and your haters. Erica manages our Facebook comments on the ads. And Tanisha. Erica, what do you think? Some big haters? Okay, I've been cussed at even this morning before our coffee, okay? The point is this, like, you are going to get people who are upset with you and who hate you. Is it about you most of the time? No. These people are, my wife's a counselor. It's amazing to be married to a counselor, by the way, okay? There's a lot of pros, a lot of cons, okay? No, but what I've realized is the counseling term is these people are projecting on you. They've gotten burned. They haven't done a book the right way. They don't believe they could do a book the right way. They haven't gotten reviews. They didn't get people to show up at their events. They're not being hired. And because you say, I have a path and a plan, and by the way, it's free, and by the way, you're going to get a free ebook, a free Facebook group, you're going to get free live streams, you're going to get interviews with our six-figure authors who've actually done it, they still rip you to shreds. Because you saying that you have hope, they now have to look inside their heart, and there's pain. So I personally don't get upset when I have haters. I just don't, because I know that they're in a place where they're hurt. And sometimes you can win these people over. That's pretty cool, okay? All right, so you guys can all join that if you'd like. Here's another reason why I think you might want to join. I'm relaunching 3 of my own books on October 27th. A lot of times people pay me high dollars to teach them how to do a book launch well. I'm going to gift you guys that strategy by getting a front row seat and seeing how I launch these next 3 books. So you're going to learn all kinds of stuff in that Facebook group, okay? Free, all right? Cool? And then today's the special webinar that we're doing at 1 p.m. Eastern. Here's just some of our team, okay? Here's just some of our team. I told them to smile because I was going to take a picture on the screen. But this is just some of the team all over the world. And look, we have over 200 certified coaches, speakers, and trainers. They're not even on here. These are the people who work with us on a daily basis. The point is this. I love our team. I absolutely love each one of these people. I study them. I know what makes them tick. I just care about these people a ton. Why? Because they are the people that I'm discipling, if you will. That's a weird term in business, but you know what I'm saying? These are the people that I'm pouring into. You look at any successful model out there, you cannot reach everybody and every customer. Is this true? Some of you, let me say this, I'm going to go out on a limb. Some of you are purposely sabotaging your growth because you're big feelers and you think that you need to touch everybody. Ouch. Is that true? Come on now. I like feelers. I'm not one, but I like feelers. All right? I have several in my house, right? And here's the point. Some of you are purposely sabotaging your own business and success because you know that you want to still touch everybody. What you need to do is you need to begin touching people through your team. True? All right. Okay. Bald guy with the girl's name, Chief Igniter. Glad to be here today. Glad to be teaching you guys. We already talked about what you're going to discover, and let's talk about the number one thing. Did anyone see the slide that I just showed? If you didn't see it, I'm going to quiz you. You probably have no guess. Put it this way. Your guess is probably not the right guess for why I think most teams struggle. What do you think? If you didn't see the slide, what do you think might be the answer? Why do most teams struggle? Growing, influence, impact, and income. What do you think? Love to hear online as well. Joel, what do you think?
They're not aligned internally on what they're going for.
They're not aligned. Very good, very good. They don't share a common goal. Anyone else? Why do teams struggle? I don't care if it's the Cavs. I don't care if it's a team of teachers at school, church, business. Why do most teams struggle? Renee?
The leadership.
Leadership, yeah. Yes. Yes.
There's a lack of focus on value of activities for the company.
Okay.
So you can be doing all sorts of stuff, but unless it's valuable to the company, it's useless.
Okay. So invaluable energy, energy that's not creating value. Pete.
And members of the team don't have a handle on what they want to do.
Okay. They don't know what they want to do. Erica, we got anybody online sharing? If we do, just share. And any locations? Has anybody shared where they're from? Who we talking today? Anybody?
Yeah, California.
California? I like California.
The UK.
UK, fantastic. Awesome. Hey, UK's great. I gotta go there sometime. All right, let's keep rolling. Here's the number one reason: sideways energy. Sideways energy. Now, what do I mean by that? Look, the purpose of a team is to make progress. True? Does anyone say, sign me up to be on a team that's going backwards? Yes, please. Does anyone say, maybe this is even worse, does anyone say, sign me up on a team that's going nowhere? Not backwards, it's just going nowhere. Is that exciting? Okay, I sat on teams, I'm not going to say where, you can guess, but whatever. I sat on teams for way too long that had sideways energy. Sideways energy. I will never forget the day. I'm probably going to put my foot in my mouth, but it's all right. It's all good, right? It's for a good point. I one time sat in a meeting for 2 hours. 2 hours with 20 people in the room. I was not the senior leader, talking about how we should collect a piece of information. Think about that. Should we put a box or should we make an announcement? 2 hours. Now hold on. 2 hours times 20 people. How many hours is that? I'm not good at math.
40.
Is that 40 hours? 40 man hours to say how should we collect information. I wanted to shoot myself at the end. I'm serious. But the thing is, this happened weekly. It was the weekly meeting. Think about the average hourly rate in that room. I don't know. Let's just go super low and say 10 bucks. So 10 bucks, what is that, $400? $400 times 50 weeks? What is that? Is that 20 grand? 20 grand. $20,000. $20,000 a year of lost income just to sit in a room and do nothing. Is that effective? Does anyone say, that's why God put me on the planet, right? So listen, I have a no sideways energy policy. I really do. I am impatient for action. You know, I'm not type A crazy, like, you know, you're in front of me driving and I'm flipping you off and driving you off the road. No, because I have my audiobook I'm listening to. I'm like, hey, who cares? We're in traffic. I'm learning. But, you know, the point is this, like, sideways energy just kills me. It just kills me because I know life is short. Have you ever seen someone that you love pass and you had to bury them, right? I mean, let's get real here. And you look at that person and you say, they have zero time. Steve Jobs on his deathbed did not want more money. Most people that are extremely the people we hold up in high esteem, they are not wanting more anything other than time. So when we waste time, what is the name of our business according to the state government? You know what it's called? Redeem the day. Not seize the day. Seize the day is just grab hold of it, eat it up. Redeem means buy back the day. Buy back time. How do you buy back time? You invest in things and people that are going to maximize the return, right? So sideways energy, I want you to write down on your piece of paper right now. I'm going to get real with you online. How have you spent sideways energy this week? Let's be honest, okay? Let's just be honest. Let's be real, okay? And I'm not saying every second you need to be producing, but I'm saying at the end of the week, you know, probably right now, a conversation, you know, an activity that was not leisure. I'm not talking about just leisure where we literally need time to rest. I'm talking about you spent sideways energy where things did not go forward. Is anyone willing to share one quick example? Sideways energy. You don't have to name names, all right? because this is being live streamed. We don't want any fights to break out. But has anyone spent sideways energy this week? No one. I find that very hard to believe. Yes, Pete.
Hassling with the bank statement,
Okay.
you know, you can't change the numbers.
Yeah. Right. So the bank statement and hassling with that.
And just trying to work it out and just figure, you know, going from paper to computer and back.
Sure.
again and that kind of-
Sideways energy.
Yes.
And you're like, hey, I could have saved time there. Yeah. Deborah.
When I will start on a project for my business on Facebook.
Yep.
I end up scrolling.
Scrolling, yeah. So you got a project, and then 5 minutes later, you're like, what was I doing, and what tab was open, and now I'm watching videos on, you know, I saw a video last night with a dude in a church, like, violently baptizing a baby. I have no idea why it showed up on my feed, but I'm like, you saw that? I'm like, what is up with this, you know? Listen, we talk about that in Elixir Project Experience, getting hacked. Like, the world wakes up and says, how can we divert your focus, right? How can we hack you, not your phone? How can we hack your brain? Awesome. Anybody else? Sideways energy. Yeah, Glenn.
Reaching out to someone who says that they want to schedule a meeting with you,
Okay.
and they keep not responding to emails, and then you keep contacting them. So
Wow.
yesterday I cut that off.
You cut that off. You cut that off. I had one this week. And here's the trick. To be more aware, right? You don't have to curse yourself and be angry if sideways energy happened to you. What you got to do is get smarter. So there was a situation this week where I knew it was coming, I felt it, but I still had this bleeding heart for someone, and I said yes to something, and like, I knew it was sideways energy. This person was not taking action. They were choosing to stay stuck. They were believing that they were a victim. That was how they saw themselves. And at the end, you know, my wife is so good. My wife's like, wow, that's really unlike you to just, you know, hang with that person randomly and you know nothing was going to happen. And I'm like, I know, you know, I know. But now I'm more aware of it. And I think what you do is you set up processes and systems to be more aware. Pete, don't let that leak next month, right? You know now. And Glenn, write this, you know, this person's done, right? They're done. Unless they prepay for your session now, right? You say, you want a session? Here's my PayPal. Then we'll talk, right? Deborah, you know not to have that open, that browser, right? Good job, good job. So sideways energy, in my opinion, is the most common way that businesses do not earn influence, impact, and income. David and I, we just, you know, let's be real, right? We met with a team of people last week and we said, look, there's some stuff that we're doing as a team. We don't need to be doing it, you know? So we got some outside help and now we're delegating a responsibility. Sometimes it costs you money, but look at it's worth money. Isn't it worth money? If you're doing something that someone else could do for a quarter of the price and you are not doing what only you can do because of it, do you think it's smart to delegate?
Yes.
So you're gonna have this thing when you're building your team that says, well, gee, it's gonna take me more time to train someone to do it, right? Let's be honest. This is why most people don't build teams. Because they say, well, for me to train somebody is gonna take me twice as long. That would be acute pain. Let me say this real so you catch this. Some of you are not building your team because you're choosing to stay in chronic pain rather than to invite acute pain. Ooh, you like that? Joel, you like that one? Some of you are not building your team because you're choosing to stay in chronic pain rather than invite acute pain. Acute pain is this. We're going to train you. So what? David, how many times have you written out scripts for what you do? A lot? Sometimes has it taken you a whole day to write out a script for something? Do you catch that? Sometimes David has spent 8 hours writing out a script for somebody on our team to do a task. But how often does he have to write out that script? Once. And so it might have taken him twice as long, but what he just did is he earned income. How did he earn income? By writing out a script and training someone. How did he earn income?
Waste that time again.
Doesn't waste that time again. Your time is limited.
You don't have to do it again.
Exactly. There are some people who are dying to do what you hate. Let me say that again. There are some people who are dying to do what you hate. So why are you doing it? Well, I don't have the money, Kary. Really? Has anyone ever heard of Fiverr? Fiverr.com. If you are not using Fiverr and you're a solopreneur or an entrepreneur, start using it. The other day, here's a case in point. Has anyone seen these weird shots of me recently as YouTube images where like it's my head cut out and I'm pointing to something? Has anyone seen that? Okay, fine, one person. Thank you. I sent that to our team. I sent that to Abby. Okay? I love what Abby said. Abby said, not in these words, but she said, I don't want to do it. She didn't say those words, but she's like, Kary, this would take me forever to do because we got to have these thumbnails. If you're going to have a YouTube channel, you got to have appealing thumbnails, right? And it's not that I'm appealing, but you don't want these weird motion shots or anything. You want to be pointing to something. So I went on Fiverr and we typed in the word green screen something. I don't even know what the word is. Okay, I don't even know what we did. But we went on there and we put on green screen, something like that. I would have paid Abby hundreds and hundreds of dollars and weeks of time to do this. Someone in another country, I don't even know what country it is, they took all 120 and in 3 hours, they sent those back and it cost us $30. Now, they probably had a team of people that they literally said, okay, each of you take 2 of these images. But do you see what I'm saying? To pay someone, on your team where they hate it, and now you've weakened them, because that's what weaknesses are. Weaknesses, according to Marcus Buckingham and Strength Finder and all this stuff, Thomas Rath, weaknesses are activities that leave you feeling weak. It's not that you can't do a weakness, but a weakness leaves you at the end feeling weak. Do you agree with this? Taxes are my weakness. I go into mild depression every year. I need my dark chocolate almonds, okay? I need some bribes around just to make it through that period. David knows. What do I do all year with my taxes? I stick them in a drawer. And I'm like, I don't want to even look at them because they depress me. God made me to create and think and do futuristic stuff. You know why I hate taxes? Because it's the past. I realized that this year. Why do I hate taxes so much? Is it just paying money? It's because it's the past. I'm a future dude. I don't like to look back and say, what transaction did I make on, November 17th, 2017? I don't care. I don't care. You see what I'm saying? But the government cares. So that's why I care. All right. Is this helpful for anybody? What's one takeaway that you learned so far? Just say it. This is helpful. It reinforces. What's one takeaway that you learned so far that kind of hits you? Let's hear it.
Self-awareness.
Self-awareness. What does that mean?
That means being aware of myself.
Okay. But that is smart. That is smart. But in what context?
No, to understand a messy desk is my thing. That's where I have sideways energy.
Okay, sideways energy.
And being able to get through that is important.
Awesome. Love it. Next, Joel.
Don't get angry, get smarter.
Don't get angry, and I didn't even say that, so you must have had that brilliant thought yourself. Did I say that? In what?
He made it.
Okay. All right. Listen. All right. I said it. Yeah, I said it. No. Good job. And what does that mean for you?
Just get smarter. Don't get frustrated, and it ties into the whole delegating.
There you go. There you go. Delegate. Awesome. Jeff.
I just want to echo what you said about Fiverr too, because there are things I can do.
Yeah.
I just don't want to.
Right.
So just delegating more stuff to them has been worth the money
Yeah.
and the quality of the
Fantastic. And look, you might be like, well, I don't know how to use Fiverr. That's okay. Go on Fiverr, type in anything that you need. Literally, someone the other day said, I need my book translated from Russian to English. I'm like, let's go to Fiverr. Somebody there on Fiverr was willing to do it for a couple $100. Translate a whole book into Russian. What in the world? Okay? Listen, you don't know what the economies of some of these people are. That might be a month's salary for these people. And trust me, I use stateside people too, okay? Everyone on our team that you just saw was stateside. So it's not like I'm just saying, well, just, take your work outside of America. Look, we use everybody, okay? But I'm just saying, don't let the cost scare you. Everyone can afford $5, true? True? Anybody? Okay. All right. Let's talk about the next one. How to keep your team engaged and excited and in their strength zone. This is a real thing that we just did 3 months ago. You remember this, Erica, where we had that survey? Okay. Well, let me just be honest. I hate surveys. I think I've offered like 2 surveys in my life. One was for our logo, and the other one was here. The reason why I hate surveys is because I just feel like you get mixed messages. I feel like if we took a survey of our conference, one person would say it's the best food in the world. The other person would say it's the worst food in the world. One person would say it was too hot. The other person would say it's too cold. So to me, that's sideways energy. Okay? I can't please everyone. So I often don't take surveys. But this time we took a survey. We said, we care about you, and we want to create a culture that empowers you to fill your potential. As part of this process, please share your experience as a member of the Igniting Souls team. Your answers are confidential and will only be shared with David and Kary. Then we gave them 9 questions. 9 questions, okay? We gave our team this, and they all took a survey, and it was fascinating, the results, okay? Let's move on to the next point, unless you want to see the 9 questions. Do you want to see the 9 questions? All right. I didn't hear it. Yes, do you want to?
Yeah.
Anybody? Okay, all right. So here's the questions. You can steal this. I don't know where it even came from. It came from my head, but I think it worked, okay? What primary tasks have you been involved in the last week? You don't even know what tasks they've been involved in. Let's be real, right? When your team gets a little bit bigger, you don't even know what they've been doing. So first of all, we said, what have you been involved in? Because we don't even know. We admit that, right? Number 2, are those tasks aligned with your strengths? Okay? What if they said, I was doing green screen, chopping your head, Kary? It's not in my strength and I hate it. Guess what? That person's going to be leaving you very soon unless you take care of it. This is part of the reason why I think this is important. Do you want a teammate who hates what they're doing? No. To me, that goes against our whole culture. We teach that we want you to be a soul on fire. If our own team isn't a soul on fire, what's wrong with that, right? Number 3, what could improve your work experience? Chris is taking pictures. Go ahead. You guys can do that. Okay? What could improve your work experience? Now, here's something that I never cut corners on. If somebody says, Kary, there's a software that would save me twice as much time, how long do you think it takes me to buy that? Not long. 1 minute. Exactly. If somebody says to us, look, we're out fighting the war, and if we had better bullets, we could win. Oh, sorry, you got to use the current bullets you have. No way. We get people what they need. Now, sometimes we get the lower end, and we say, let's try it. Before we just buy the premium model, let's try it, and if you like it, let's upgrade, this type of thing, okay? Number 4, what is your vision for your future role on the team? Has anyone had any, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but has anyone had a boss that thought this way, or a leader? By the way, everyone who works for us are freelancers, so I don't have any say over them. Pete, you had somebody?
Oh, yeah, Bill Kager.
Awesome. At Grace?
The current president of Grace College, worked with him when he was a provost and the music department was being shut down. And he was still supportive of me and the other members of the music department that were having to be spread around. And so he thought about our future.
Interesting.
As he was dealing with us.
And from all I know, since he took over the presidency, the growth has been crazy. Exponential. Guys, you need to look at yourself in the mirror. And if you say, I can't attract good people, what am I going to say to you? What's that? Become better. If you're not attracting good teammates around you, you need to look in the mirror. Because if you're an 8, you're not going to attract 10s. No one's going to be like, oh, I'm a 10, but that person's an 8. I'd love to work with them. Okay? You need to raise your own leadership lid And I get that. I get that. I wake up every day and look in the mirror and say, you know what, I got blind spots, and I better close those gaps if I want to keep attracting good people. Number 5, how can we support you in this vision? How can we support you in this vision? The vision of them as a future person. And listen, if you're a solopreneur in here, good. Do you guys realize that I was a solopreneur from 2004 to probably 2011? Did you catch that? 7 years. The first 7 years I was doing everything myself, and then I found David, and David was, we started out very slow, but then we kept adding people, adding people, adding people. Number 6, is anyone on the team causing you tension? Yes. Yes, okay? Listen, your team will be destroyed unless you deal with it. You got to deal with it. And we have a policy on our team that is a no gossip policy. And the first time you gossip, it's a warning. The second time, you're dismissed. And I get that from Dave Ramsey. And Dave Ramsey has this policy that say negatives go up and positives go down. What does that mean? If somebody is negative, you need to pass that up to the person who can actually do something about it. But if positives come as compliments, you pass them down and you compliment the people on the way down. Jim Collins says, look in the mirror when things aren't going well, and look out the window when things are going well. In other words, compliment the rest of the team when things are going well, but when they're not going well, you look in the mirror, okay? This is super important. Gossip is sideways energy. Is this true? Gossip means that someone is listening and they cannot do anything about the results. And so it's sideways energy. All right, number 7. Have you addressed this tension with that person? Ouch. So first we say, are you having tension with anyone? And you say yes. And then we say, have you addressed that tension? And then you're like, well, no. Right? So what do you think your action item is? Address it. All right, number 8. Do you have any ideas that would make the business better? The reason why we're live streaming today, do you know why? Renee. Renee said to me one time, you taught on live streaming, why don't you live stream? And I'm like, well, let me tell you, Renee, why we shouldn't live stream. Because if we live stream, no one will show. Look at you guys today. Okay? Self-limiting belief, blind spot. And all of our clients who don't want to fly in from the UK and Africa and Asia and Australia this morning, they say, thank you for doing this. It's created tremendous results. But I was too dumb to see it, okay? So thank you, Renee. Thank you. Number 9, is there anything else you'd like to share with us? I still think that's an important question. Because, they might have done 8 and said, well, here's my ideas. Okay, is there anything else you'd like to share with us? So, Erica, you remember doing this? Okay. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot. But how soon after we got the answers do you think it took me to make adjustments on the team? What do you think?
Right away.
Right away. Do you know, Erica said to me one time, I have to quit or something. And I was like, whoa, hold on. It's like, hold on. And then what was the issue? What was the issue? Weekends, right? Weekends. So dumb me is just like, hey, she can manage the Facebook page all the time. Well, she said, I need someone for the weekend. How soon did I come up with someone for the weekend?
I think right then.
Right then.
Yeah, Tanisha.
I'm like, all right, I'm calling Tanisha. We're hiring her. She doesn't know it yet, but we're going to go hire her. Okay? So listen, I like leaders who take action. Do you guys like leaders who take action? Look, the worst thing in the world is to get this survey and be like, hey, 4 months have gone by. You still hate your role. We didn't implement those ideas. Blah, blah, blah. I think that's the worst thing. Don't ask for a survey unless you're going to do something about it. So there were literally people on our team that switched jobs immediately. Abby gave away some of her stuff Emily took on that. We brought Tanisha on. We switched the deck over here and over there. We created new initiatives. We started the Writers Workshop in Author Academy Elite immediately because Nanette and Abby said they wanted to have more of a teaching role. So listen, I'm not saying the team directs you as the visionary leader, but I'm saying you're an idiot if they don't influence you. Is this true? They see it better than you. They totally see it better than you. All right, cool? Is that helpful? All right, let's get on to the 3 steps now. You ready for the 3 steps? Ready?
Yes.
3 steps? Okay. So let me ask you the first question. Why do most teams struggle to grow influence, impact, and income? Sideways energy. How do you keep your team excited, engaged, and in their strength zone? Survey them with 9 clear questions. Okay? Cool? And then the secret is take action, right? Don't just survey them, but take action. All right, next one. Here we go. The 3 steps. You ready? Shared vision. Shared vision. I'm going to give you guys some big tips here, okay? Shared vision. What does shared vision mean? You see together. You're going to like these 3 steps. I really believe it because they're so simple. David, in the beginning, when you and I first started, how clear were we on the common vision?
Very clear.
Very clear. We would go to Buffalo Wild Wings, right?
Right, we would hammer it all out, but we knew where we were going.
Yeah, yeah. We had total shared vision. We said this is how we see things together, and you can't abdicate that. You can't abdicate that. I never look at the team as filling roles. Yesterday, I had a call with a dude in the UK who's printing books for our UK authors, and I had a chat with Chris from Jet Launch, who does the interior design for our books. The whole reason I sat down with those guys, and it was a short chat, was to cast vision. I purposely, look, I don't think you can cast vision through email. Just gonna be real. Can I be real? I don't think you can cast vision through email the same way. I think that you get face to face, if possible, or screen to screen, and you look that person in the eyeball, and you come up with shared vision. Does this make sense? All right, now, you might say, well, tell me more about that. I don't know what the next slide is. Oh, here it is. Okay. Whiteboard sessions. David and I, has anyone ever had a whiteboard session with me? Anybody? Joel, you have. Isn't that where we came up with?
Meaningful work in a meaningful way.
How important was that for your business?
Boom.
Yeah.
Just clarity.
Mark, have you ever had a whiteboard session with me?
2 weeks ago?
Yeah? Pretty clear?
It was amazing.
Okay. So 4 hours straight, crush it. Listen, don't give me a whiteboard. I'm dangerous. Should I tell you why I'm dangerous? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I think the brain is dangerous with a whiteboard. You have permission. It's not set in stone. For some reason, you give me a marker and a whiteboard and an eraser, and suddenly I feel like the internal judge goes away. And anything that we create is possible. Okay? So David and I literally, David, how long was our whiteboard session on Monday? We started at?
6 hours.
6 hours. You might say, well, that's crazy. Yeah, it is. 6 hours, and we mapped out the rest of our year. Okay? Whiteboard sessions, shared vision. Shared vision. And what we do, should I give you little tips on how we do this?
Sure.
We have a little section over here called to do. Okay? And I just draw like a box. I draw a box and I put to do. Then what David and I is we create a shared Google Doc right there. Nobody checks Facebook. Nobody checks phones. Nobody takes any email. It's all one energy. Okay? And what we do is we have a Google Doc and we literally start mapping out David's jobs. And I have that up over here. Kary's jobs. Emily's jobs. Right? And our whiteboard session We are literally cranking out dates and action items. So we need a global live stream on May 15th. Boom. Okay, what does that mean? You just map it out. For Mark, we came up with your buyer's journey. We came up with your stuff for your website, all that stuff, right? Here's the point, guys. I think it's worth it to get in the room with someone, with your team, if possible. If you can't do it, they do have digital whiteboards, okay? So someone can probably Google it, but there's a digital whiteboard software, probably a couple bucks, where you can literally do that. It's not the same for me, because I don't want to draw with my mouse, you know, and stuff like that. It really doesn't have the same effect for me. But hey, do a Zoom thing with a whiteboard so they can see it and you can see their whiteboard if you're separated by miles. Now, I'm going to give you guys a little tip here, a little secret strategy for how we do this, okay? So, this is called the Global Live Stream, Close the Gap Global Live Stream. It's in 6 days. I'll share the link in the Facebook group. You all can have the link, but it's just ignitingsoulsconference.com, ignitingsoulsconference.com/close the gap, no spaces. ignitingsoulsconference.com/close the gap. Anytime I create anything, a program, a book, a product, a service, here's what I do. This orders my thinking. I need this structure. It's called a one sheet. So, literally, before I create anything, a book, a product, a program, a conference, anything, I say, who is it for? If I don't have this one sheet, my vision doesn't attract the team that I need. Finish my favorite quote. Clarity attracts, confusion repels. If you are not clear as the visionary leader, you will not attract a clear team, because you're just filling spots then. So what we did here is we said, who is Close the Gap live stream for? If you know there's a gap between what you want and what you have, then you're invited. So people come to this page and they say, is there a gap between what I want and what I have? If not, they move on. And that's good. Clarity about someone who's not good for you is a good thing. You don't want people to hang with you, and they think they're a good fit. They think they're a good fit. You think they're a good fit. That's sideways energy. What? A live stream event where you'll discover a 3-step process for creating the life you want personally and professionally. This big reveal format will include plenty of fun giveaway and prizes too. So it's a global live stream where we're going to give a 3-step process, and we're going to talk about it in a big reveal format. Joel's my co-host. We're going to do this on a live stream next Tuesday night, and it's at 8 p.m. Eastern. You never put TBA. That's the kiss of death for anything. On your one sheet, you never put to be announced, to be determined. What that says to your subconscious is faker, not serious. I don't care if you change the date. You pick a date, and you say this is when it's going to be. Cool? Where? We'll broadcast it live stream. Why? Because everything you want awaits you just on the other side, but before you can do your dream, you must first close the gap. Okay? How? Please register below. You'll get the special live stream link. Updates to be included in the giveaways. So this is our former all-tribe call. How many of you have ever been on an all-tribe call? Anybody? We've been doing these for years. Once a year we do an all-tribe call. This year I suddenly had the thought, let's live stream it. Let's live stream the all-tribe call, and let's give value to people who aren't part of the tribe, and they'll get value, they'll grow, they'll learn, but all the insiders will get the information they need too. Okay? So it's a one sheet. Is anybody here part of Author Academy Elite? Raise your hand. Author Academy Elite is built around a one sheet. Did you know that? The who module, the what module, the when module, the where module, the why module, and the how module. I'm telling you guys, I am not a good thinker unless I have a one sheet structure. So before I create anything, I say who, what, when, where, why, and how. Rick, you were kind enough to share the Igniting Souls Fellowship, the little PDF the other day.
Oh,
What is that? It's a one sheet. It is absolutely a one sheet. So how many of you, don't raise your hand unless you're going to do it. How many of you, your action item today is to create a one sheet for your product, program, service, event? Anybody? Is that anybody's action item? So Chris, what do you have coming up?
Well,
Come on up here. Come on up here. We need some energy. We need some energy. Let's give it a hand. Yeah. He drove all the way from Dayton.
Yeah.
How long?
Hour and a half
Hour and a half.
today.
Commitment right here. Now he's going to get free promotion. He doesn't even know that, but now he's going to get free promotion. So what do you got coming up?
Yeah, for me, it's getting clear on my coaching program.
Your coaching program.
So
Okay.
I'm writing a book right now, building a framework for my coaching program attached to that.
Yeah.
And I need to do the one sheet
Yeah.
around that program.
Do you think building his one sheet for his program prior to writing his book or before his book is finished is actually going to help his book too? What do you think? Yeah? I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
So let's just do this. Should we do them? Should we do the one sheet for him right now?
Yeah.
All right. Who's going to take notes for him? Brian, you going to just
Sure.
jot down a few things?
Yeah.
Just jot down a few things, okay? So who is your book for?
For people who have a good life or they have a settled life, but they want more, they want a great life.
Okay. So
One
people
on one.
who have a good life, who want to create a great life. Okay. Now, do you think he should also have a chart that says good life? And do you think he should have a chart that says great life? And do you think he should have other categories like money? Money, good life, what do you think it is? What do you think money for a good life is? What do you think? How would we define good life in finances? What do you think?
Vacations.
Taking a vacation.
Studies.
1 month of savings. What do you think a great life finances would be?
Being able to impact others with that portion.
Okay, so
I don't know how you say
being
it in one word.
being
Yeah.
wealthy enough to change the conditions of others.
It's worrying about taxes more than bills.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right. But see,
Financial freedom.
now what he's doing, he just said, oh, I want people, good life and great life. Well, that's cool, and I think it's hot, and I think it'll sell. But what if he had a chart, and it said relationships, and it said education, right? And it said travel. And suddenly people look and they're like, I got a good life. Do you think you could build an assessment out of this?
Absolutely.
Do you think the assessment would give him results and then sell your book?
Absolutely.
You think the upsell would be for your course?
Absolutely.
You think you could go in and speak?
Absolutely.
See what I'm saying? All right? Okay, what is this? We got the who, what is he offering? Can I share? Can I share? All right. Framework. He needs a framework. This is his table of contents. So if you're an author or a course creator, what you got to do is you got to solve a problem. The problem Chris is solving in his book, anybody, what is the problem he's solving? How to go from good life to great life. Exactly. So that's the problem he's solving. The framework is simple steps that solve that problem. That's all a framework is. A framework is a solution broken down into simple steps. It becomes the table of contents. It becomes the modules in your course. Do you think you could come up with 5, 7?
So great is my framework. It's a-
GREAT.
Yeah, 5-part framework.
Boom.
My book has 25 chapters, 5 chapters under each of those.
Excellent. You like that?
Modules.
So he's got the what, and the what is the, and I encourage you to give it some crazy cool name. Okay? Like, for ours, it was day job to dream job, the dream jobber plan. Now I'm sure a hater's gonna be like, well, what the heck is that? And I say, you know what? I don't even care what you think. But you need to name it. You need to name it. So you call it the great circle, you call it the great something.
Yeah.
Okay? But this is what you name the framework. People are buying what the framework does. Okay? When is it? When is this book gonna launch?
This fall.
Okay? Is that clear?
No.
Okay, what's clear?
September 15th.
I'm learning from my coach about that.
Yeah. So what's clear?
I mean, October 15th.
October 15th. All right, you got that, Brian?
Yep.
All right. He created it once, now he's gonna create it twice, right? All right. where is this book good? Is it throughout their Academy League?
Mhm.
Okay, so you're gonna get global distribution, 39,000 channels around the world, bookstores everywhere. Okay. Why? Why should someone want a great life instead of a good life?
Because I think all of us hunger for more.
Okay.
You know, we want to have a life of significance, not just success.
Okay.
So there's a lot of people that have success, but they want more.
Okay.
There's
Cool.
even a good podcast, I think, that somebody talked about.
Rick's podcast. So he's going to help people go from success to significance. Okay, excellent. I kind of like threes, you know? I like threes. So why drill it down into 3 things? Okay. And then how? How are people going to buy it? Bookstores?
Yeah, bookstores for the book.
Website?
Yeah.
Okay. And you'll have upsells as well.
Yep.
Awesome. Let's give him a hand. Awesome. Okay. You guys think you can do that? Anybody think you can do that? No? Nobody can do that? Anybody can do that? Let's hear it. Let's hear a yes. Anybody? All right. Shared experiences. So what was the first one? Shared vision. And what did I say at the bottom of that? See together. Shared experiences. It rhymes. What do you think it's going to be?
Be together.
Boom. Look at that. I promise you the next one is not another word, okay? No. All right. Shared experience. Be together. Be together. So what do I mean by that? Shared experiences. Shared experiences. David and I chose to be together. There's just something about you sharing an experience together. Now, true story. Does anyone know where I took my son last week? Yeah.
Space camp.
Space camp. Now listen, the parents who went on this journey with me didn't even know most of them, okay? What I didn't tell you, and I shot a video about it because it was so crazy. We're literally driving in Kentucky. We're just outside Louisville. All of a sudden we smell this crazy smell. And all of a sudden the bus starts going from 60 to 40 to 30 to 20. And we're on the interstate, okay? And I knew something was up, right? So he pulls over and we're literally stuck on the off-ramp. Now, I was just chilling. But when this happened, I kind of was like, hey, all right, what do we need? What can we do? And the teacher's like, you know, she was a great teacher, by the way. Super amazing lady, 68, and loves this. She loves space camp. And she was so passionate. I was so inspired by her. But I look at her and I say, look, you need to go with the other bus. I'll take it. And she's like, what? She's like, I said, yeah, you guys got to get to Mammoth Cave. You just go. I'll take care of things. She's like, well, aren't you a good leader? And then she goes, all right? So now here's me, and all the other parents are kind of looking at me, and the kids. And I'm like, all right, let's make this happen, right? So I call the sheriff. I call 911 or whatever. And I'm like, hey, we got a bus and 45 middle schoolers, and they're all on the side of the interstate, and I don't want them to get hit. Can you send a sheriff? She's like, yeah, we'll send a sheriff. I should have filmed this. It would have been a great daily show. So the sheriff comes up and puts on the lights, and these were the most calm, chill people in Kentucky. I was amazed. I thought they were going to, be coming out with their guns and like, what's up or anything, but they were just chill. And they're like, well, what should we do? They asked me. And I'm like, all right, here's what I think we should do. Why don't you give us an escort over to the truck stop, over this little ramp, and we'll try to get the bus over there and at least try to make something happen. Long story short, we spent 2 hours with 45 middle schoolers at the truck stop. I just saw the headline, In fact, my wife's like, I'm glad you're there, okay? But here's the point. Long story short, we get another bus. Our bus has to go to the shop, blah, 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 blah. It was a crazy adventure. It even got crazier on the way back when it started raining. And literally, the roof started leaking, and this is supposed to be a nice bus, a charter bus. So we did surgery with the first aid kit to the bus and stopped the leak. Okay, it was the trip of all trips. Here's the point: when we left that final night and we all said goodbye, I felt like we had been through a war together. I did not want to leave these people. Have you ever felt that? You ever been through an experience with people and you're bonded? And now you're like, what? Now I'm going to go back to my suburban house where I might not have water in the fridge, you know? You see what I'm saying? Shared experiences are experiences that where you are outside of your comfort zone, you're not in control, and it bonds you together. And there's something about the brain, I've studied a ton about flow, the optimal state of human performance, but one of the triggers to flow is novelty. Most people have these grooves cut into their brain where they can literally live life on autopilot. True? How many of you have ever thought about your day yet today? Most of you have like grabbed a toothbrush, da-da-da-da-da-da. You go through everything autopilot because your brain conserves energy. Your brain wants to save energy. When you interrupt your brain through novelty, which is a new or interesting experience, you bond with the people that you're with. Does this make sense? So David and I, one of the first events we went to, remember this, where the pastors threw me out? Remember this, David? All right? So I say to my men's group, I'm like, hey, who wants to go with me? I'm going to go speak to 25 pastors in Dayton. It was Dayton. And all the other guys were like, no, I'm not going. And David's wife said, you're going. Right? It's a true story. I'm not making this up. Christiane said, you're going. And so I'm glad she said that. We wouldn't be here today. So David comes with me. I share with all the passion I have my new book, Your Secret Name, and the pastors don't like it. And they start saying, well, I don't agree with that. And well, Glenn knows some of these people, right? Well, that's not in the Bible, and I think you're wrong, and all this stuff. So I come out to the car, and I'm like, you remember what I said?
You were done.
I said, I'm done. I said, well, that's done. Guess I'll move on to something else. And what did you say?
No.
So here's the point. You need people who are with you because you are going to get discouraged. And they're going to look at you and say, you are not going to quit, and who cares? And we're going to make this thing happen. And that bonded us together. You see that? Shared experience. Be together. Why am I so passionate about the Igniting Souls Conference? I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes. Because there's something about people, hundreds of people, coming together, not as a cult, although, some people think we're crazy, coming together with a common purpose of a shared experience where you get stretched and you grow and you get practical, tactical advice. How many of you have ever been to an Igniting Souls Conference? Raise your hand. Okay, most of you. It's amazing. We only do it once a year. And it's purposely, we don't sell it on live stream. And we don't create CDs and DVDs. Because if you're not in the room, you miss it. There's something about being in the room, right? Awesome. Okay, our last one here. Oh yeah, and here's our picture last year. And it was so big I had to stretch it, right? But there's hundreds and hundreds of people that come. It's amazing. I believe in it so much that I guarantee your ticket, if you don't walk out with 10x the results of what you invested in, we'll give you a refund. Okay, I believe in it that much. It's at the Hilton Polaris this year. We're going to talk about that in just a second. But now shared stories. You need, as your team, to have shared stories. Erica, how often am I giving you stories about, life change? Right? All the time. Listen, if people just think they're filling a role and they're filling a spot and they don't see the life change, do you think they're going to stick with you? My job is, as one of the visionary leaders, is to feed the team with stories all the time. All the time. Because stories inspire, right? Believe together. Believe together. So what do you got? What's the first one? See together? And that was shared vision. Then you had shared experiences, which was be together. Now you have shared stories, which is believe together. Look, there's a guy right here. His name's Derek Depry. Derek's in Wisconsin. He's one of our authors with Author Academy Elite. He was a little low dude on the Milwaukee Bucks. Not a player, but as part of the office. So they gave him the role of introducing, and I don't know basketball that much, okay? I do like the Cavs, but But anyway, he had the job of announcing one of the NBA players at an awards banquet. And all he had to do was give like a minute, okay? And he's this young kid, you know, late 20s, wife, maybe one child at that time. Lights are down, big banquet, lots of announcers are there, all the famous people. And all he has to do is like give 1 minute. So he gets on stage, panic attack, freezes, can't even get the words out, runs off the stage. I can relate. I had that happen at 18 for the school play because I had a severe stuttering problem all through school. I get it, okay? Derek runs off stage, end of story, right? Never a speaker, right? Done. Well, he says, you know what? The area of my biggest wound is often going to be the area of my biggest impact, opportunity, contribution. He says, I'm going to get better. Writes his book, Shift, How to Move from Frustrated to Fulfilled. We published it with Author Academy Elite. I got to write the foreword. Derek is now a speaker all over the place. He started out at $500. He's now $5,000 a talk. He's crushing it. Anyone see him on Instagram? Every time I look at his Instagram or Facebook, he's like, I just spoke here, I just spoke there. You just spoke to the Lambeau Field Packers last weekend. He's all going all over the place. And I tell this story. Remember, David, when I told you this story? I'm like, dude, Derek, it's crazy. I love to brag on our clients. I really do. It thrills me. How many of you in the tribe, you see like another AAE author in the news, right? Tina, come on up. You're not even ready. You didn't even know I was going to ask you to come up here. Good to see you. So you just got back from a book fair?
Yes, Dayton Book Expo.
I love it. I love it. And so you got to speak there.
Yes, I got to introduce my book, and it was really exciting.
Was it?
Yeah.
And you met people, and did I hear like a podcast, or what came out of this?
Yeah, I was able to get on a podcast and then get on somebody else's live stream.
Love it.
2 other live streams.
Okay.
And so it wasn't really about the money.
Yeah.
It was about
Exposure.
the exposure. Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. So here's another author who has a great talent for art.
Yes.
So you have great talent for art. I've seen some of your work. But you say, I'm going to go to this Dayton Book Fair. Were you a little nervous before?
A little bit.
Because
yeah.
it's a new thing, right?
Right.
So now she does it, and I love what social media allows us to do. You were able to share it. I was able to share it. What's the responses you've got from people?
Oh, well, the very first person, I just looked at that person. I said, you, come right on up here.
Yeah.
And the very first guy, I was able to get him a book. And as we were walking around later on in the day,
Yeah.
my husband Lou was doing live feeds
Smart.
and everything.
Good job.
That man was reading
Wow.
my book.
Fantastic.
And he couldn't put it down. He came by and he said, I can't stop.
Wow.
So that
And what
was
is the name of that book?
The Journey, My Near-Death Experience to Heaven and Back.
Wow. Anyone ever know anybody who's like near death and has a lot of questions and stuff like that? And one more time.
The Journey, My Near-Death Experience to Heaven and Back.
Okay, I'm sure Erica can put that in the feed. Awesome, let's give Tina a hand. All right, good job. All right, listen, in our last few minutes, guys, I want to talk about something I'm passionate about. I don't think there's a better strategy for you to build your team than to bring that person with you to the Ignited Souls Conference. I truly believe that if you bring someone who, you know, might be a potential teammate with you, you're going to be sharing experiences, you're going to be sharing stories, you're going to be sharing vision. David, you remember sometimes when we go to events together, I mean, the whole way we're just chatting. I mean, it's not even the conference, it's the flight. Remember that one conference we went to? Like the whole flight, we just downloaded, and we said, what did we say? We needed to get away from Columbus to actually connect. We live in the same town, but we needed to get away, stay in a hotel room, and we literally shot. You guys remember the story, right? Where we skipped the conference because it was a bad conference, not like ours. We skipped the conference and we went on the parking garage and shot 45 videos and created my book hook, my book blueprint, all this crazy stuff because it wasn't our type of conference. It was a crazy conference. All right, But anyways, we had a great time there, and tons of amazing things happened there. So here's what I'm going to do in our last few minutes. I'm going to just show you guys a little bit about Igniting Souls Conference. Obviously, it's something I'm passionate about, and the reason why I'm passionate about it is, we'll get it right here. It's once a year. This is where our whole team spends so much time building this conference. So it's called Igniting Souls Conference. Every year we pick a theme. This year we picked the theme, Close the Gap. We don't want to tell you what that gap is. We don't pretend to know. The gap could be between you and a loved one and the relational fraction disconnect that you guys have together. That could be your gap. Your gap could be your health. Your gap could be your business. Your gap could be, your own self-limiting beliefs. We don't pretend to know what your gap is, but we specifically picked speakers and people and breakout sessions that are going to help you with this. So it's called Igniting Souls Conference. It's October 26th through the 28th. And literally the conference is built around 3 steps: confronting the gap, combating the gap, and then closing the gap. This year we outgrew it, so we are not at the Quest anymore. We're at the Hilton Polaris. I'm going to be teaching you guys about a 3-step framework that I use all the time to close the gaps in my life. Dan Miller is coming. Dan Miller is best-selling author of 48 Days to the Work You Love. Him and Dave Ramsey, Michael Hyatt, they all hang together in Tennessee. The guy's been on the early show, CBS, Hardball. I mean, he knows his stuff. Anyone here ever meet Dan Miller? Anybody? Good guy? Amazing. Super generous guy. 71. Okay? 71 years old. He's still crushing it. So, unless you're older than 71, maybe only Pete, okay? And Pete's still crushing it. So listen, we have people of all ages. You do not need to be 25 to be making it happen. Dan has so much energy. His wife Joanne's coming and is going to be talking on what's it like to be married to an entrepreneur. She's going to share some deep, dark secrets. But anyways, Dan's going to share a formula for getting high profit clients and low maintenance clients. Rachel Peterson, amazing at social media, just amazing. She was a single mom, dropout, struggled with alcoholism. Today, she's a mom of, I believe, 3 now, maybe 4. Just had her last baby a month ago. She's coming. She now runs a social media firm for other women who struggle. Maybe they're single, maybe they have issues in their own life, but they're crushing it, and they're being hired for major companies. She's going to share with us how to make social media work. You ever meet a social media expert and you go to their social media page and they have 2 followers? And you're like, go to Rachel's page. You will see she's got the results. She was just featured by Russell Brunson at ClickFunnels Conference. I mean, she's making it happen. Jeff Brown, award-winning podcaster. So if you ever say, I want to get on podcasts, I want to start my own podcast, I want to learn how to make money from a podcast, he is the man. His podcast has been downloaded millions and millions of times. John Maxwell, Seth Godin call Jeff and say, can I be on your podcast? Chris Brogan says that Jeff Brown is his favorite podcast interviewer. He's going to share with us how to create a 6-figure business around podcasting. Anyone ever watch a video on YouTube? Anybody? Ever? Come on, all right? YouTube is the 2nd highest search engine in the world. Think about that for a second. 2nd highest search engine in the world. We are now a video culture where I don't know how to fix my lawnmower. I'm not going to Google. I want to see how the dude does it because I'm a visual learner, okay? Brad Burke, his videos have been downloaded 31 million times. He's going to share with us how to do YouTube. Yes, even as coaches, speakers, whatever business you have, they have YouTube channels on how to feed chickens, okay? So I don't want anyone to be like, well, they don't have My business wouldn't make it on YouTube. Yes, it would. And the fact that it's not probably means you could dominate the space. Okay? Seriously. All right, next one. Dexter Godfrey. How many people have ever heard Dexter? Love Dexter as a speaker. Amazing. If you have depression, if you struggle with joy, after his talk, I mean, you will be dancing in the aisles. This guy is fantastic. He's going to be sharing with us all about being on stage and how to maximize your message. Look, when you are a good speaker, they've done the research. I don't know if you guys know this. They've done the research. When you speak well, people assume that you are gifted at other things just naturally. This is a weird subconscious thing that when we listen to someone and they're a good speaker, we're like, they must be good at tying their shoes. They must be good at washing their car. They must be good at business. They must be good at relationships. They're so polished. Look, when you're a bad speaker, and listen, I'm the dude who used to stutter, speech therapy, learning disabled. Derek, right? As well. Listen, Dexter has struggled. The point is this. Stop letting it be a blind spot. Because here's what I know. If you struggle with speaking on stage, you will also sabotage your business. Think about it. If the stage for you is a place of fear and a place where you will be revealed for your flaws, you don't want the stage. Is this true? Come on now. We are weird people. We have this subconscious thing that says, don't be too successful because you might get called up on stage like Kary did for Chris today and Tina, right? So just play back, play safe, play small. No, Dexter's going to show you how to step out there, okay? David Branderhorst, amazing. Took our little thing from probably, I don't know, a 4-figure business to a 7-figure business and growing and global. The guy's amazing. He didn't even know how to, in the beginning, log on to a website. Is this true? Today, he tells me, don't log on to the website, Kary, okay? All right? So the guy is a self-taught genius. He's just grown the business, and he's going to be giving you his very best in that session about how to scale your business, okay? Dean Folks is the pastor right here. We have one session where we kind of go deep on faith. It's optional. You don't have to come to that one if you don't want to. I think it's fun because we have some amazing musicians that come during that session too. But he's going to be talking about how you can help kick back the darkness in the world by earning a ton and then giving away. And there's going to be no places where you give money or anything like that at that session. But he's just going to talk about, look, and I can share this from personal experience. I struggled, I don't know if I've ever shared this publicly. I don't struggle with my time. I struggled for years giving finances. I don't know why. I'm just like, it's hard work, My wife is an ultimate giver. She's helped me in that area. And the funny thing is, as we've been giving more as a couple, what do you think's been happening? God's like, hey, all right, I can trust you with more. Listen, I once met a dude who said, once I make money, then I'm going to be a giver. Guess where he is today? Nothing. So if you can get this, for some of you, this is your most important session. Because this might be what's stopping you from reaching more people, okay? Now, we want to give you guys a flash bonus today, okay? A flash bonus. Chris, can you pass these out? I know a bunch of you have already registered, and if not, that's okay. But if you can pass that out, we try to make this conference ridiculously affordable. And so what it is, it's not $2,000, it's not $1,000, it's not $500. We try to make this so ridiculous that it's a no-brainer. It includes 4 meals. If you live here, you don't have to do the flight from Australia, which some people are doing, okay? You have to actually get in your car and drive from Hilliard or New Albany or wherever you live. So here's the point. We have a flash sale that is going on for the next 7 days. The next 7 days, and here's what you're going to get. If you get a regular ticket, which is the super early bird price at $347, or the VIP ticket at $597, and the VIP ticket, let me just tell you guys what this includes. The regular ticket includes all the main conference sessions, the breakout sessions, the red carpet sessions, the Author Academy Awards ticket, breakfast and lunch both days, the conference manual, networking and collaborating, and that is super early bird $347. In addition to everything I just shared, the VIP ticket also includes an opening night party with the conference speakers. If you want to meet some of these speakers and ask them real questions related to your business, normally some of these people charge thousands of dollars an hour. That pays for the price of admission right there. Getting time with them. Reserve best seats in the house. Spark Day with David, where for how many hours? 6 straight hours he's going to tackle your business in a small group setting. Spark Day lunch, VIP Author Academy Awards dinner. It's going to be Hilton, four diamond quality. Access to the VIP lounge and professional headshot. Okay, a photo shoot as well. So listen, $597 is the VIP ticket. What we're going to do is, if you guys have already registered, we're going to gift you these 2 bonuses. So we're big into rewarding early adopters. If you already have a ticket, either level, you're going to get both these bonuses free. If you haven't gotten a ticket yet, the timer ends in 7 days, and May 16th, the day after the global live stream. But here's what this is. It's how to craft your VPS. VPS is your value proposition statement. If somebody says to you, I have a pile of cash, Brian, somebody told me you're really good and you can help solve my problem, here's some money, what can you offer me? If you don't have a clear VPS, value proposition statement, and it takes you 25 minutes to tell that person what you can offer, do you think they're going to stay? No. Would you stay at a drive-thru? If you drive up to the drive-thru and say, hey, what do you guys serve? And I've heard you're a good restaurant. And they say, hey, Jim, I don't know, what do we serve? And they can't tell you. Are you going to stay? Listen, clarity attracts, confusion repels. How to craft your VPS and leverage it as a GPS for your cash and clients. We're going to gift you that training, and then we're also going to gift you how to create your own killer conference with a team full of rock stars. You have lifetime access to these. You might not be ready to build your own conference. That's okay. This is with our team. So our team is in a round table, and we give each person the mic and say, what was your role at the conference? What would you tell people as they're building their own conference? What did you do? What would you suggest? What made you successful? And you're going to get our own team sharing with you, okay? So just the flash bonuses are alone, we wanted to make them like worth the price of the ticket, but then you're also going to get a ticket to the conference as well. All right, it's at the Hilton, and I'll just show you the location. It is quite a step up. It's quite a step up. It's just fantastic. There's a shuttle for those people who are flying in. It's just beautiful. We've toured it so many times. So you got pools, you got meeting areas, exercise rooms, spa, outside dining, fire pit. It's just fantastic. We are actually taking over the whole hotel. So it's not like we're sharing it with another group. We get the whole conference, the whole event. They're going to treat us and our people incredible. We've already had many meetings with them. It's going to be fantastic. All right? Any questions about the content today or the conference? Any questions about the conference today? Now let me share really quick. Here's my VPS. So here's my VPS. This literally shapes everything I do. So your value proposition statement, what we've done is we've been able to build products and services around our value proposition statement. And that's why it works. Because I am an author, coach, and speaker who helps individuals and organizations clarify who they are. What book is that? Who they are. Your secret name. Why they're here. What book is that? Deeper Path. Where they're going. What book is that? Day Job to Dream Job. So they can become a soul on fire, experience unhackability. Where is that? Elixir Project, and share their message with the world. Author Academy Elite and Business Academy Elite. You see how a VPS shapes everything? If you don't have a clear VPS, you're costing your business money, okay? So, anybody online have questions, or anybody here have questions about this topic today of team building or the conference? Yes.
So, I understand that, you can outsource a lot of things, right? But have you discovered that there's just some things that even if you don't really want to do it, that you've needed to do it?
Yes.
Just for your own growth?
Yes.
Okay.
What can you not outsource? I believe you can't outsource culture-based jobs. Let me give you an example. No one is doing author interviews other than someone who's one of our team members. Okay? So, Daphne for years did our author interviews. You want to know the big lie? The big lie was only Kary can do it. All right? And David's like, dude, you're going to kill yourself. No, I can do 70 straight. Okay? I can do 70 straight in a week. Plus be a dad and a husband. I can. And what? Ego, lie, all that stuff, right? But I want to touch every author. I want to make sure that every author, that I can connect with them. You have to get over yourself. So what did? We trained Daphne. And Daphne did it great for 2 years. And then we kept growing. So now we have Deborah and Lisa and Nikki. And do you guys think it was hard for me to gift you that role? Come on up here, Deb. Let's give Deborah a hand. Yeah. Watch out. All right. So did you think it was hard for me to give that to you?
Well, I think it was harder to give it to Daphne
The
than
first
it
time?
was to spread it out
Yeah.
for 3 more. But I think it was a growing
Yeah.
thing. I think it was a growing thing.
I have full trust in these people. They're literally representing our brand. They're representing me. They're representing, and I have full confidence in them. We always have a debrief, and we always have a, what do you call it? I don't know, prior to. What do you call that? Pre-brief. There you go. So notice, there's a great quote that Andy Stanley says. I believe it's Andy Stanley, maybe someone else. Vision leaks. Maybe Rick Warren. Vision leaks. What's the point? The point is, if we haven't done an author webinar in months, you bet I'm talking with them prior to launching. And I'm recasting the why. Ladies, here's why it's so important. Here's why I believe in you. Here's some changes we've made. David, did we not have a debrief or a pre-brief with them Monday morning. 9 a.m. For this week, because today's the day. So I knew I gotta get in front of these amazing people and cast vision with them, okay?
And even within the team, I know last campaign, we had a lot of unusual things come up because we were new that we haven't dealt with before.
Sure.
So it's like sharing with the team members
Sure.
and learning and watching, watch Nikki's dealing with that, and you can watch her,
Sure.
your answers to her.
Yeah.
And it's like it's such a learning, and the
Yep.
team kind of bonds through those, like you said, experiences.
Yeah. Culture to us is very important. If someone's not a lifelong learner, if someone's not about growth, if someone's a complainer, if someone's a victim, it's going to cost you way more than money. Okay? So I look for people who are a good culture fit. Okay? And it was tough for me to do that. Who used to edit every single proposal in chapter 1? Me. Do you see why our business was at a level? David and I looked at each other a few years ago and said, we either have to clone ourselves, which we don't want to do, or we need to find another way. So we literally looked in the mirror and said, what are things that only we can do, and what are things that other people can do? And some are those outsourcing, and some of those are others, okay? Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Great question. Anybody else? Good question. So let me ask you this as we close today and online, okay? What is your one, I don't want 5, what is the one action item? Not, oh, I realized something. Not, oh, that's a great new thought. I want to know one action item that you are going to do in the next 12 hours. Yes, that means before bed tonight. What is one action item you're going to do in the next 12 hours? I'm going to give you 30 seconds to write it down, because to me, that's why I did what I did today. That's why David filmed this today. That's why Mark's here taking photographs today, okay? Mark, come on up here. Let's give Mark a hand. Yeah, let's give Mark a hand. Awesome. So Mark, you have a photography thing.
Yeah.
Mark and Shelley photography, and you got to stand in this blue box.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So listen, what's one action? I know you've been working hard shooting photographs. What's one action item you're going to take?
We just did it this morning. There's a company called Savvy Brides, and these are young ladies that cannot afford the $4,000 to $5,000 photographer to be at their weddings. They just plain simply can't do it.
Yeah.
So Shelley and I, my wife and I, were thinking of things this morning. I said, let's offer a package. I'm still making good rate of money, but instead of giving you an 8-hour, 10-hour day, let's give you a 4-hour window. You get 2 professional photographers, make it unbelievably affordable to them.
Awesome.
So we threw that out today because there's literally thousands of these young ladies that just cannot afford a professional photographer.
Yeah.
But we can offer it in a smaller window for them.
I love it.
So,
that's a big win, man. That was worth it, just price of admission.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. Good stuff. And your website is markandshelleyphotography.com?
Correct.
Awesome. Fantastic. Local people here. So, do you all have an action item? Mm-hmm. Okay, you all have one. Does anyone not have one? I will give you one. Does anyone want an action item for me? Do you all have one, really? Do you all have one?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to call on a few of you, okay? It doesn't need to be profound, doesn't need to be big. Susan, what's yours?
I'm going to see what I can assign to Fiverr to help me with.
All right, you're going to look at Fiverr. She's going to look at what she's doing, and she's going to start outsourcing for $5 something. That will become an addiction in a good way, and pretty soon you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And you're going to have a team working for you. It's fantastic. Okay, Becky, what are you doing?
I narrate audiobooks, and I'm putting together a blog and also a package of services for authors who want to narrate their own books.
Yes.
I'm working on it. But I realize that I need to clarify my vision.
Got to clarify your vision.
So I'm going to work on that.
So what separates you from other narrators and the who, what, where, how, and all that stuff?
Exactly.
The one sheet. Okay, fantastic. New person who is awesome for coming. What's your name?
Connie.
Connie. What's your action item?
Well, I loved the survey questions. I think I will adapt those to a group of friends that I'm doing some health coaching with.
Love it. Take the survey, adapt it, make it happen, and then make sure you do the action items related to that. Awesome. Other amazing person who's somewhat new.
I have make a list of items that someone else I could have do.
Awesome.
This is where I always get stuck.
Yeah.
I get to the point
Got to do
where
everything.
I'm trying to do everything and I can't.
Yep. And listen, I had to look in the mirror. Because we can say, well, blah, 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 blah. I'm just telling you what I do. Ego. I think I can do it better than people. Or I don't think they can do it as good as me. If they can do it 80% better, they'll probably end up doing it 110% better soon. But that frees you up to expand. We're always going to remain at a constant level unless we delegate. Awesome. Renee, you got any takeaway from today? I know you were doing an amazing live stream with Nikki, which is fantastic. But any takeaway for you today?
From the first few minutes I was here, I already was looking and thinking about what sideways energy that I can continue. I've been working on that anyway, but to continue to.
Sideways energy, identifying it. Listen, fantastic. Well, it was amazing to be with you guys today. I just want to challenge you. Seriously consider the Ignited Souls Conference. That flash bonus will go away very shortly. Love to hang with you guys for 3 days there. Our next fellowship is the first June Wednesday. So make sure you come back. We always have new teachings as well. But thanks for having me today. Thanks for watching online. All right, we'll see you. Take care.